this economy that we're dealing with, you have to be diverse. You have to be diverse. It requires you to be diverse because you're not just competing with each other for jobs anymore. You're now competing with people in another country who are competing for your jobs. Did you know that? Did you know that the internet was a great invention? It leveled the playing field, but it also brought more people into our economic world, and they are taking a lot of the jobs. And the people who are stuck on just this one thing that they were doing, I believe that you should go to bed every night whipped, tired. I believe that. You can go work a job. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, and I believe anyone who has a job, a traditional job, they can be an entrepreneur also. What do I mean by that? What do I mean is they can go to work every day for a corporate company or a school or whatever it is that they desire to do, and they can treat that like a business. And what would happen? They would help other people to become great. I believe that a teacher is the best profession on the planet. Doesn't matter if it's in martial arts, doesn't matter if it's in music, poetry, health, doesn't matter what it's in. I believe that we have an assignment to do, and that's to teach other people how to be great. Actors, there are all of these professionals who get into their trade or job or whatever they do, and these people actually have taught other people how to do what they do. So that's why I say a teacher is the greatest profession on the planet. I started out by talking about education, and I really didn't go deep into what I do. I started working at 11, I told you that. 20, I started my first traditional business, which was a barbershop record store. From there, I went to work for a company, a corporate company, as a mechanical engineer. Because, remember, I went to trade school and got my heating and cooling license to learn mechanical contracting, indoor air quality, ventilation, all that kind of stuff. From there, I started about 6 more businesses that failed. I had a indoor air quality company, and we went out to major schools, we went to major corporations, Blue Cross, Comerica, all of these different places to sell indoor air quality, stuff that people couldn't see. At 25, I got my first $1.2 million contract. At 25 and a half, I lost that $1.2 million contract. At 28, I got my first, I think it was going to be a $25 million contract. About 3 months later, the guy who was responsible for giving us that contract got fired, and I lost that $25 million contract. I went to school, furthered my education, started businesses, and now I speak and motivate people on how to do the same thing. My job is to teach you how to be the best you can be. Now, I know that sounds kind of cliche-ish, right? Kind of sounds a little hokey, right? But I believe each one of you all, especially those of you all who said you don't really like school, because you don't really understand how it fits into your vibe, your group. My son said something that was very, very inspiring to me. Came from a great motivational rapper, Meek Mill, right? And I love what this guy said. He said, I don't want to compete, I just want to eat. Now that may seem a little whatever to you, but that was powerful to me. And the reason is because it's the competition that's going to hold you back. You competing with somebody else for a spot or a shine or this and that. I believe that the only time that you should be competing is when you're paid to compete. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they get paid to compete, right? But once they get off the court, they should not be competing with anyone else. Your purpose simply is to change the world. So whether you decide to do something or whether you decide not to do something, you're changing the world. The question is, are you going to change it for the better? Or are you going to do nothing and it's going to automatically go for worse? The choice is yours. The decisions that you guys make right now, you may not think that it's important. But by the time my son graduates college, gets a family, and the kids start growing up, the decisions that you guys make are going to affect my grandkids, whether you want to believe that that's the truth or not. So your mission, your goal in life is to change the world. What are you going to do about it? Don't allow fear to control you. We're all afraid. There are things that we don't know how to do, but we do it anyway. We do it scared. And guess what? We learn better how to do it. So, quick story. There was an enemy of man. Okay? The enemy of man wanted to hide the man's purpose, but they couldn't find a suitable place to hide the man's purpose. So they all came together and they said, well, let's think of some places we can hide the stuff so they can't easily find it. Because we know if they find out what their purpose is in life, they'll create other great people and do great things. So we got to hide these men's purpose. So they came together, and one of them said, I got an idea. How about the top of the Appalachian Mountains? We can hide it there. Nobody's going to go up there. How many of you all know mountain climbers who have climbed the Appalachian Mountains? Yeah. So men would have found the purpose, right? Another among the enemies of men said, well, how about the deep blue sea? Ain't nobody going down there. We can hide the man's purpose there. And then they said, well, no. People are going down in the sea like it's nothing now. So men would have found their purpose. Then they said, well, how about outer space? Ain't nobody going up there. We can hide it there. And they said, well, no, men are kind of nosy. They always want to conquer things and figure things out. How many of you know that we've gone to outer space? Yeah. So the enemy said, you know what? I know the perfect place that we can hide a man's purpose. They will not likely ever discover it. The perfect place that we can hide a man's purpose is within them. Some of you all will get that later. One day, you'll get that. But you have everything within you already. The only thing that has to be done is it has to be cultivated. You have to get training. You have to get mentors. You have to get people who know more than you know, even though you don't think they do. Your teachers should leave here on empty every day. One of the biggest obstacles is belief. Belief that you can do it. Not listening to the noise, meaning all of the people in your family that tell you you can't do it. Listening to the people who that you may care about dearly, your mother or your father or your pastor. Some of these people, one of your best friends, because it's so foreign to them, they don't know anyone who have been successful in it. They may know people who have tried business ventures and failed at it, but they don't really know, so they're going to tell you, you shouldn't do it. But I would encourage you, if you are passionate about doing it, do it. Even when you fail at the business, that doesn't make you a failure.